Hello, everybody. So, I thought we would continue with the Wesley John Elliot interview, which isn't really an interview, it's more of a therapy session. Um, and it is, as I mentioned in the last video, this is kind of memorable. The video's memorable because he kind of thought that Chris Hansen was a therapist. I kind of came up with this theory that he wants a therapist so much that they just keep like you think it's kind of he's imagining it in scenarios. So Chris, you could quite easily mistake Chris for a therapist in the way that he talks, in the way that he's dressed. He alludes to that fact. The circumstances around him being there are ridiculous, as we know, and like fucking just as Chris quite rightly says, it's like you think a therapist just magically showed up. There is a segment earlier in the interview here where he believes the cop is a therapist. So you've either got someone there who is clinically insane, or, well, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because maybe the two go hand in hand. He's kind of seeing. You see, what you got to understand about insanity is it's not a clearly defined thing. Insanity is a human construct. The difference between insanity and sanity is not clearly defined, and it's somebody generally has to make that decision about who is insane and who isn't. If you look at our species as a whole, we are insane. Human beings are insane. We destroy ourselves. We just a general kind of example. I was like queuing up in the post office the other day, and something occurred to me. There was like, I know I talk a lot about nutrition, but I think it's a massive factor in showing how insane we generally are collectively and individually. And I'm not like separating myself because I occasionally eat crap food, very rarely, but I used to eat it all the time before I got a bit more clued up. But I can imagine in hundreds of years, they'll look back at this period in history and look at us and go, what the fuck were they doing eating those sweets, that candy that poisoned the bodies? Why would they consume it on a regular basis? And they'd be like, because it tasted good. But what difference? What do you mean it tasted good? But it harmed them. Yeah, but they liked the taste. They got a hit from that taste and they got addicted to it. Yeah, but they didn't realise that was just an addiction and it was doing them harm. People won't be able to get their fucking heads around it. It's a little bit like we look back at history thousands of years ago when it was like, even though they didn't have nutritional, issues, they, butchered people. And, obviously going back to maybe hundreds of years when people got the heads chopped off for stupid things, and people believed that women were witches if they acted a certain way. And we look back at that now, and we just think how crazy that is. And when there used to be lightning, we'd think that the gods were fucking got a problem with us. Obviously, we go further and further forward. So I suppose what I'm getting at, it's just kind of a long way of explaining it, is that what is insanity? You know what I mean? It's we're all victims of it. It's like, I think Eckhart Tolle made an example that you would define someone as being insane if they talk aloud and talk to themselves. Like he once made an example. He heard someone on a train, and they were saying right aloud in front of everybody, "I hate that person, and that person's fucking against me," and blah blah blah. That's what you do in your mind. So what's the difference between talking aloud and it happening in your mind? You're probably more aware of your surroundings if you're doing it internally rather than. But do you understand what I mean? It's like, so you would look at the John, this guy, Elliot, and you would say he's got a total fucking lack of understanding of his situation if he thinks that people are therapists left, right and centre. I believe there's a possibility that he wants it so badly that when a situation arises that he just thinks that's happening. Because when you want something so badly, you do start to see it everywhere. It's like when you're at the end of a relationship. or you're really infatuated with someone of the opposite sex or whatever, your mind will start to make excuses about why you think that person likes you, even or still likes you or is still in love with you, and you come up with crazy situations in your mind to sort of justify that arising. Do you get what I'm saying? So, without further ado, shall we have a look at the interview?
Well, whenever I was reading through your chat, you like to be nude, I take it.
And when I say that I believe that he wants it so badly, the therapy thing, that it's kind of manifesting in his world, in his mind, should I say, rather than actual reality. A good sort of bit of evidence on that side is that this has turned into a therapy session. He's opening up to her, like he would do in therapy, which means potentially this is something that he's wanted to get off his chest for a long time. Which is, his sort of reaction to how he spoke to Chris. You would say, that's, that's why I believe that it might be the case.
Was your wife home, or
no? She'd be like downstairs or on her computer. We got 2 computers.
Okay. What kind of computer you have?
One I built.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cutting out a hobby of mine.
Mhm.
It's just building systems.
Yeah. So
I enjoy figuring them out. When you order a motherboard, learning the new stuff on them, and putting in new stuff.
So
yeah, a mate of mine loves doing shit like that, building computers and from scratch and mauling with them and tinkering with them. It's kind of handy to have someone like that, and then with my computer fucks up, he can sort it out.
what'd you build?
I digress.
Oh, it's a K6200 AMD.
Mm-hmm.
K6. K2000. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
It's like the processor's like 2 or 3 years old now.
Boring.
So, I mean, it's not even listed anymore.
So what else do you do with your computer?
Get online and look for star stuff and space stuff, UFO stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now you said that you were getting child porn off the chat rooms.
Mm.
Can you tell me some of the people that you were getting it from?
I can't remember because it's been so long. Some of those have been like from a year or so ago.
So you just...
I mean, she's probably digging for intelligence here. I've got his name. It's John Wesley in it. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, she's obviously digging for a bit more information so that they can, widen the intelligence net, maybe get other people done. But of course, it's more than possibly. I mean, he's not going to remember who it is. He's not going to fucking memorize the names or anything.
stored them on your computer?
Yeah, just save them when they send them to me.
Okay. Where'd you save them?
On my computer.
Yeah, but I mean, did you just keep them in an email, or did you make a special folder for them?
Oh yeah, I made my own folder for it.
Yeah. Okay. So, were you the only one with access to the computer?
Mm-hmm.
And it was upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is it password protected or something? I mean, I'd hate to think your wife would get on there.
Yeah, it is.
And fighting that child pornography. I'd have a seizure if I found child pornography on my computer at home.
Mm.
Because I would know that I didn't put it there.
Yeah. No, she's got her computer. I got my computer.
Okay, so she has no idea.
Mm.
Boy, I don't envy you when she gets a hold of you.
Is this kind of scare tactics on her part? Because he's quite relaxed. And, is she just trying to, instill fear into him? And that's, to try and get more out of him, basically.
Yeah, I don't envy me neither. Don't worry, you're not alone in that.
I'm not sure that's the right tactic under these circumstances.
So, you said she's got a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a digital camera?
Mm-hmm.
And webcam?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever made any child pornography yourself?
No.
I suppose she's got to ask.
Sent out, received, you've gotten through chats,
Yes.
somebody else has
Yes, ma'am.
given it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, here's the deal. I'd like to look at your computer. First of all, because of the child pornography.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, because of why you're here tonight, coming to see a 13-year-old to have sex, and you travel to do it. This is pretty serious, John. I'm not going to kid you. You know, I don't know what the situation's going to be for you, but you'll be lodged in jail tonight. And they'll give you an opportunity to make a phone call.
I don't understand some people's reactions to the prison jail. He's like, oh, yeah, whatever. You know, there's no... I would be terrified of the prospect of having to spend time in prison. Like, I'd literally... I wouldn't have his demeanour. You know, it's weird, isn't it, how people react to different things in different ways. It's totally dependent on your mindset and, you know, very, very strange. But, you know, we're all infinitely different, so I suppose it isn't strange, really. It's just hard for me to project or put myself in that situation and be fucking terrified, basically. Especially under the charges that he's going to be there for. You know, we're not talking about some kind of, you know, fucking technicality.
Get your consent to go to your home and get your computer and any other computer-related equipment that you may have.
Okay.
Would you have a problem with that?
No. I mean, it's all on there.
Okay. So,
I mean, but...
did you have any special items where you kept pictures, like a flash drive or
No,
some
all...
other storage media, CDs, DVDs?
No, I just all got one computer.
Okay. Put another sheet out here. Okay. The address is...
Right, let's just get rid of this, shall we?
Oh, wait. I met my wife and lived down in Barble after Calvert City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. From the computer.
Exactly.
Okay. Here's what this one says. I hereby consent to give up the right underneath.
Frexor XR.
Effexor?
Yeah, okay, that's it.
I'm going to go ahead and fill your citation out here. It doesn't mean that you can't keep talking because I'm listening. Okay? So you want to tell me about some of the other people you chat with?
I mean, I suppose there's not really much else to go at here. He's kind of confessed to everything in a way, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's kind of like, he's admitted what he went there for. He's admitted that he wanted to have oral sex with her. He's already said he would have done it. He's admitted he's got child pornography on his computer. It's like, where else is there to go? I suppose she's digging now for any potential further offences. If there's any other victims, potentially. I mean, you know, just doing a job.
There's some real winners out there.
Yeah, I know it. There is.
Huh?
A lot of bots.
Huh?
Bots. What's that?
That's where they throw advertisements at you. Porn stuff, all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what other kind of fantasies you have? Nothing wrong with fantasies, people have dreams and things that they
There's
like
something wrong with this fucking fantasies.
Oh, winning money.
Winning money?
Winning money.
I think we all have that one, don't we?
I don't think she was talking acquisitions, at least materialistically, dude.
I don't know what I'd do with it if I had it.
Nah, no.
Don't
Me, I
know
just
that
want to
it'd
pay my
change
bills.
anything. Got a lot of
So I
bills.
think we can gather from that then that he has money issues. I think that he alluded to the fact that his job's boring, or he potentially he does come across as somebody a bit dull, if I'm being honest. So potentially you've got someone here. It's like what I've said in the other video. He's kind of the archetype of someone who gets dragged into this. His marriage isn't going well. I think he's not got the best job. He looks like he's got money worries because he's said there that he just wants the bills paying, which means that, making it, surviving financially is on his mind all the time. So you're more likely to get drawn into this kind of, if you've got these attractions as well, and you haven't got anything else going on in your life, and you're going to use it potentially as a little bit of escapism in a way, a kind of like you're indulging in the fantasy. It's not always the case, of course, but I just think it's a possibility here. That, this is one of the reasons why he's getting involved in this. If you maybe, not always, but maybe if you had a lot more going on, you was a lot more fulfilled and a bit more stimulated, maybe this isn't something that you would indulge in, although, that's not always the case.
Is it Wesley?
Yeah.
Spell that for me.
Wesley. Yeah, well,
So what do you go by?
On Yahoo.
No, do you go by John, or do you go by Wesley, or
Oh, John. Yeah.
just John?
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see, I got your address here.
Did y'all already call the house?
Pardon?
Did y'all already call the house? That you know of? I mean, you don't know.
No, I'm not going to call your house.
Okay.
I don't have any reason to call your house.
Okay.
Do I?
What do you mean?
Well, why would I call your house?
I mean, come on.
Well, you're going to go and raid his house and get his computer, and he's just been arrested for fucking child fiddling charges. So I think it's a reasonable question, you silly bitch.
I'm going to let you call her.
Okay.
You're going to explain that, not me.
Okay. I wasn't being smart. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't think you were being smart. I was just letting you know, though, she's going to be mad, and she's going to take it out on you, not on me. You better get yourself prepared for that.
She kind of annoys me a little bit, because it's kind of like she's very relaxed, and kind of, she's playing the role of the concerned kind of friend, and it just irritates me a little bit. I'm not saying that it's the wrong tactic. I'm not saying she's bad at her job. It just kind of winds me up. I suppose it's because I don't like people who are not direct and honest, maybe, and it's all a bit contrived. If you get what I mean, I'd be interested to know your opinions.
Did you have a driver's license with you?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a Kentucky driver's license?
Yes, ma'am. It's in mine.
I'll get that in a minute. You want to give me your social?
It was in the consent form.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much. I don't think this video's quite as...
Okay. So
I wanted to
what's your
see...
occupation with them?
Solid prayer.
What was that?
Not anymore, though. That's the reason why they don't want the name given out in case, some happens to somebody like this.
Yeah. And that, what city is it in?
Murray.
You're full-time resident, Kentucky?
Yes.
You're married for now.
Talk about a low blow. Fucking hell. You're married for now. I mean, she's right, but God, kick him on when he's down. Oh, dear. That's really tickled me, that. You see what I mean? It's like all this mask of fucking caring. It's like she's basically, what she said in a roundabout terms is, obviously your marital status is single at the minute, but there's no doubt she's going to divorce you, and then you're going to, no doubt your marital status is married, but no doubt it's going to be fucking single within a couple of days. I'd be interested to know what your feelings are about this guy, because I don't have the same level of hatred as I do. Well, I mean, I always kind of try my best to reserve that emotion, but I don't see this guy as a... I mean, you can put them all under the same blanket, and I understand that, but like somebody like Westerbeck or even Lorne... I don't know, at the end of the day, he's gone there to commit the act. So really, they're all the same. I get that, but I just don't... I see a kind of a suffering and a struggle internally with this guy. I don't... I think there's... might be because it's like Dustin. If he was going to look at Dustin... without reading the chat log, you wouldn't hate him as much as somebody like Westerbeck, who's immediately as aggressive. Or, well, Westerbeck's not aggressive. I just use him as a sort of example because he's probably the person that riles me so much. But if you look at James Klein's to sort of like when he's there, because he's so like arrogant, but he's just trying to like defend himself. But him here, he's kind of very mild mannered and very open and honest, and I suppose that kind of like at least he's taking responsibility. Do you know what I mean? It's the ones that don't take responsibility and the ones that are really aggressive and vile, them are the ones that you kind of hate the most. Whereas I can see like just a broken man there, in my opinion. Doesn't make the crimes. I don't know. I always look at cases individually. I don't see everything as black and white, but I'd be interested to know your views.
What's your home number?
I can't remember offhand. It was my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wait.
I'm going to have to skim through this, guys, now, because I don't know if there's anything worth going into for the rest of the interview here now. I might as well just get this over with. There's no point.
He died.
Oh, I'm going to start striking there.
Huh? You weren't talking to me, I take it.
miss my brother.
You miss your brother. Does he help you a lot?
That dude. Oh.
He died.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't know that.
Cancer. Can I tell you something?
Oh, it's going to be interesting. Now, it could be that he's using it as an excuse. It could... Doesn't, a personal bereavement, a tragedy of any variety doesn't really change your attractions, your sexual attractions. Could it derail you to the point of acting recklessly? I believe it could. For instance, you could have someone who has these compulsions, as Chris likes to say. They have it under control. And then something happens and they just go off the rails and go, fuck it. I believe that that's a possibility. You know what I mean? Whereas things can happen. This is why I try not to judge people too easily. Is because good people can turn bad and bad people can turn good. If that's the case, then how can somebody be inherently good or bad? People just are. Do you understand what I mean? I think you can turn into a bad person and become... that's without a doubt. I mean, you'd have to be stupid not to believe that. I just don't believe it's inherent to our nature.
Sure, I told you, I'm always listening. I'm all ears.
It should be me 6 feet under, not him. I mean that.
Do you know what? I think he probably does. Like when Lorne's crying, it's all an act. It's all feeling sorry for himself. I'm going to portray, because he's got no integrity. He doesn't care about coming across as pathetic. It's just not in his reality to sort of... He doesn't have that level of self-respect. But I believe that I can tell that there's genuine emotion there. I believe that he's telling the truth about his brother. And I believe that he genuinely does believe that he should be 6 feet under. I think that part of his whole problem is that he judges himself for having these attractions to children, which is why when Chris asked him the question, and he goes, send him an island? Because, it's like a lot of people won't think that they're doing anything wrong. He knows he's done something wrong, which is why I believe he's opening up. Do you understand what I mean? It's like the ones that don't think they've done anything wrong are the most dangerous ones. Not justifying what he's done. At the end of the day, he would have committed statutory rape if given the chance. So the guy is a bad person. He's, what would you define as a bad person? Somebody who does an act that puts their own selfish needs in front of the welfare of other people. Which we all do to a certain extent because you've got to look after yourself to a degree. You can't go through this life without pissing people off. And people, no matter how enlightened you might be or how much of a nice guy you might be or person or whatever, there will be people that will think you're a twat. Always. Even if Jesus were to come back on this earth, he would be vilified by a huge section of the planet and called evil and called the devil. Even if he was to do nothing but say everybody should... Remember that Simpsons where that X-Files one where Burns is like he gets that booster, doesn't he? He goes a bit nuts and he goes, hey, bring love, and hey, bring peace and love, and it like Lenny goes, he's bringing peace and love, break his legs.
Buddy, you be alright.
No, I mean, he was so much of a better person.
Yeah.
You know what? You're a good person.
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I just...
she's winding me up now. I suppose she's got to say that, as she, but I wouldn't, I'd have just said, well, you've got a chance to change. Clearly you're not a good person because you've done what you've fucking done tonight. But here's an opportunity to put that right. And what choice has he got? He either fucking lives in misery and feels sorry for himself or tries to do positive change. And that's the choice that we all have.
What's eating you up?
What's eating him up? What's eating him up? What do you fucking think? He's just told you his brother's dead and died of cancer, and he's fucking he's a sex offender.
Something just really got you.
Just wish I had a great place.
Something just. She's.
I know you're not a counselor, but that's what I want to say,
Well, sometimes you gotta say it out loud. Let's see.
I just hate my life. I really do.
You see what? She's fucking annoying me now, this woman, right? And I know not everybody's going to agree with this, right? But she's played the caring, compassionate person throughout this whole interview. Open up to me, and I'm not judging you, and basically he's pouring his heart out at this point, and she doesn't give a fuck. Look what she's doing now, when he's just completely opened up. Now, I'm not saying that she's under any obligation, because her job is quite simply to get a confession out of him, and that's her job. I just find it irritating how, at least listen to the fucking guy. He's played you the courtesy of being honest with you and giving you what you wanted, and he's just told you about his dead brother. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but it's just fucking annoyed me that.
You go to a counselor?
No.
You gonna start?
Oh, yeah.
And I know she's listening, but if there was a part of her that gave a fuck at all about trying to do and I understand the mindset would be, listen, she's a cop, she's doing a job, it's not a job to care, and it isn't, she doesn't have to, but at least doing the dignity of looking him in the eyes and trying. If I was in that situation, I would go, maybe it's my opportunity here to do some kind of positive change, because it's not a case of fuck this guy, he deserves everything that he's got. If you can get through to him, the world's going to be a better place. He's got one less dangerous sex offender, and someone who's going to go through the judicial system and just plead guilty and cooperate, and there might be a chance to. Do you understand what I'm getting at? I'd be really interested to know what you think, guys.
Because I need help.
You see what I mean about I need help, and I hate my life, and I'm fucked, and all this kind of stuff.
That'd be a good place for you to start, I think. You feel better? You talk to me? You feel better that you talk to me?
I'm glad that you would hear.
Why?
You just seem to have a way of talking.
Of course she does.
Some of them back at the office tell me I don't know how to shut up. They get sick of me. So I appreciate you appreciating me.
You know who you make me think of? That actress, I think her name.
Oh, but now that he's complimenting her in some way, she's stopped what she's doing and she's looking at him. So now that it's about her, she's actually interested.
Just the way you talk made me think of her.
Ain't Loretta Lynn, is it?
No, on that flight, not flight actually, or that missing child on that plane, and they kept telling it.
Oh dear. There's one film that springs to mind, and it's about a missing fucking child. Oh dear.
Come on board with a girl. I mean, she knew she did.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of her name.
What's the movie called?
Flight. Not Flight.
I've no idea what he's going on about.
I can't
Right, how are we doing for time? Let's just have a quick look. Okay, we might as well get through this.
Also in that movie, Hannibal Lecter.
Oh,
You know-
where's Jodie Foster?
Jodie, that's who you remind me of.
Really?
I like her.
I do too. She's one of my favorite.
Nothing like her. Is it just because they're both fucking agents?
Well, I tell you what, this is the worst part of this job, filling out all this paperwork.
Really? It's not dealing with dead bodies or fucking telling people that... Oh, I'm just being a bit hard on her now, aren't I? She just winds me up.
Oh,
I mean,
you know, some
you know how it
people,
is.
some people handle stress differently.
Yeah, I'm one of those that don't handle it.
No. Let's see. We'll get you squared away here in a few minutes and get you transported over to the jail.
Okay.
You still got plenty of drink there? Or you want me to round you up some water?
If you can, I mean, I don't want to do too much of a bother.
Well, I'd say I could do that for you.
Thank you.
You need Kleenex?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
But thanks anyway.
You alright? Alright. We'll be back with you.
Right, let's just see if there's anything of note that happens other than him. That'd be really funny if he started knocking one off the interview room. He just started tugging away. Oh, that'd be so funny. It would be fucking disgusting, but it'd be funny. He'd be like, yo, I nearly got some. Ugh. Oh, that's my dark sense of humour. Okay, so we're done. We are done. So, yeah. Yeah, so we've got through it. John Wesley Elliot, not Wesley John Elliot, as I've titled the video. But yeah, quite interesting. Interesting. For many reasons, you know, the therapy side of it, the kind of the position he's in his life. The interview uncovered some interesting parts. The death of his brother. The annoying tendencies that I found of the interviewer. I'd be very interested to know what you think, guys. Please let me know. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I will speak to you soon.